trying to pay attention. Hold on a minute. I just changed the resolution on it versus being on auto. I have the camera further back here because, you know, we get those pixels, right? So I just kind of want to get this as it's happening. You see him with his lips, right? What you want to do is you want to pay attention underneath it. Do you see his mouth twisting and contorting in here? Bulging. See how it's bulging? It's like he's taking his tongue and he's pushing it in the inside of his cheek. Okay? So we'll just go through this like this for now. Alright? I'm wondering if this individual will end up running for Parliament at some point. Think of Justin Trudeau, right? And his, you know, right? The two Trudeaus, the dad and the son. Okay. Well, this is kind of a similar thing. There we go with the lip. You can see that, right? And he holds it. That's the thing. He holds his tongue there. Like, look how long he's holding it for. I know it's on slow speed, but there's a reason for this, people. And I'm going to put this with John Horgan, who also does similar things with his mouth. And Obama has been documented to do it as well. And I'll provide the link. See, look how he's rolling his... Just look how his mouth is rolling around in the inside of it. Right? Okay. Alright. So anyway, Christy Clark, apparently she's in charge of the LNG line now. Right? In terms of running those pipelines for, what kind of gas is it called? Some kind of gas line. Liquid gas. They're running liquid gas through the interior, or through Kitimat, and they've got something like 5,000 Chinese workers in min camps working on this gas line. And Christy Clark, right, stepped down as being a premier because of scandal, but it's like Gordon Campbell, he works for the Queen now, right? He works in Britain with the Queen, doing something for the Queen, and he had scandal too, people. And Christy Clark, she's running the LNG line. So, but if you notice, this was in 2017 for the election. Now, whatever problems we have now, whatever problems we've got now with an invasion of something, okay, that cloaks itself with false imagery and false perception, just a lot of deception, people. Okay. You know, it transcends down. See, there goes the mouth again. It's moving just slightly. I seen it. I don't want to bring the camera too close at this point. I'm trying it at this distance, right? But you know, why are they putting this individual next to Christy Clark? Not only is he doing hand signals, which I'm not recording at this point. Okay, he's definitely doing some kind of hand signals, but he's also using his mouth and the movement of his tongue to communicate, like with the hand signals, as to anything that's out in the crowd or watching the particular video. Okay, these things are very choreographed. Okay, now I just did another one of these kind of with John Horgan having a debate in oral question time in the Parliament buildings in October of 22nd of 2015, and he's definitely showing signs of being I don't know, altered, I guess you could say, right, in terms of he's not necessarily who he portrays himself to be, because he's cloaked. He's cloaked with something, people. All right? There's too many similarities adding up here. And, you know, this is dangerous. It's dangerous for everyday average people who are unaware of what we're dealing with in terms of manufactured poverty, right? The predatory behavior of the public union sector against the most vulnerable, when in fact they were supposed to be elected for the people, to represent the people, to help the people, not to exploit the people, right? I mean, these people, these politicians like Christy Clark could cause so much damage. Gordon Campbell could cause so much damage, but yet Gordon Campbell is working with the Queen, making good money, $500,000 a year or whatever the hell it is. There he goes with the tongue again. Do you see this? Do you see this? Look at it. Look at it. You can see that, right? Okay, like this is, I'm just going to run through these videos, people, right? There's a reason for that. That's a message. It says something. It's like what it reminds me of. It kind of reminds me of peacocks, male peacocks, you know, fluffing up their feathers, you know, to attract attention to themselves, or when like posture, you know, when animals are posturing, right? You know, they want to fight. You know, they posture, right? I'll just leave it like this for now. And what do you call it? Or like, you know, a cock, like a rooster. You know, when a rooster is trying to, you know, fend off a predator, or, you know, wants to fight another rooster. You know, they're gobble things. I don't know what they're called, right? But they get all swollen and, you know, and just, yeah, this is what it reminds me of. It reminds me of, like posturing. It's a form of, you know, right? Like my bark is bigger than your bark kind of thing, right? The only thing is they can't really show themselves in the true sense of what they are, because, I mean, people would go nuts. People would literally go nuts, and then they wouldn't be able to do the things that they do in terms of using, you know, public tax dollars to facilitate crimes. Not this individual that we're looking at, but the one that's standing next to him that ruined, you know, thousands and tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of lives in the province of British Columbia while the BC Liberal government was basically in power for 16 years. And she ends up getting rewarded to be the director of the LNG line, so that, you know, she can keep that money, right? Keep that money, okay? So, just watching this, I'm kind of keeping an eye on it from where I'm sitting here. I don't know how well the camera is picking up. I really don't know. You know, this is the best that I can do. Maybe parts of it I'll clip out, maybe I won't. Like, people are not obligated to watch my videos. I don't do this obviously for views. I'm getting very few views on this for the simple fact, even when it's really, really important, you know, because we know people, we know that they don't want the truth to get out. Not yet. Not until everybody's completely disabled and doesn't have the ability to fight back in the least. Then that's when they'll show their true selves. Yeah. They might have to kill off a few more of us first, though, to be able to control us. There's still too many. But once they get it down to a controllable population, we're nothing but cattle to them. Seriously. Yeah. Because we've been invaded. We've been invaded with something, and I know it's hard for people to fathom, to think about it, to imagine. You know, it's beyond a fantasy, right? They don't want to accept it because it's fearful, it's frightening. It looks like he's choking there for a minute. It looked like he was ready to gag or something. I don't know. Maybe it's just the way he's clapping his hands. All right. See, it takes time when you're what do you call it? Going on low speed. Everything takes time. It takes time. right? I just turned that off and on for a second. I'm not interrupting this one. I want this one out. I was actually going to do the whole thing very, 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 very quiet. And just try and clip out what I need to clip out. But I probably should still do that. Just turn on the camera and walk away. But I just don't know what the resolution is going to be like. And even if the resolution is good, once I upload it to YouTube, you know, YouTube can change the codecs. Give me a crappy codecs with low speed, low resolution, and anything I'm trying to do could be very murky, right? Just because it's being tweaked on the other end of the server once it passes through the line, right? They have all kinds of tricks up their sleeves, just like they're trying to change the source code, the HTML, with their live streams so that they, you know, you can't catch them, right? But so far we can still catch them with their fake pre-recorded live streams, right? With false death statistics and false infection rates and false, just a whole bunch of false shit. I'm watching, right? There you go. Are you seeing that? Can you see that? I can see it. His mouth is changing. Now his tongue will come out. See? His tongue is wanting to come out. Did you see that? I'm not going to move the camera closer. I'm going to see if I can zoom in after the fact through my editor, which will hopefully remove some of the pixels. This is what I'm hoping. Right? Okay, and of course I'm going to go back and I'm going to do some more paint on this, people, because you know, I'm just wondering, why are they touting this individual next to Christy Clark, right, in terms of this is supposedly supposed to be her son, and is she like prepping the public to accept him into a leadership position in 5 to 10 years from now, when, you know, he's grown a few more facial hairs, right? And he's actually up on a podium talking versus just standing next to his so-called mother, clapping his hands and smiling and rolling his tongue around in his mouth and sticking it out every now and then as if, you know, he was like fucking retarded or something. Like, seriously, no, he's not sticking his tongue out because he's fucking retarded. He's sticking his tongue out because the people that are supposedly in the audience, but most definitely for the camera. This is for the camera, people, okay? This is staged, okay? It's all theatrics, right? You know, some of it, I don't even know how much in terms of, anyway, they're doing it for the internet, with the video on the internet, or whoever, or anyone that's connected to them through that beehive legion mentality that is somehow structured in with their DNA, okay, which is not 100% human, in my opinion, all right? That's what they're doing it for. Because most people like us, me, right, you know, we're not paying attention because we've been kind of taught that extra, do you see? There he goes again. Extra terrestrial life is non-existent. Aliens are just something in a science fiction movie. This is basically how we kind of grew up, and we were told that it's not true. Don't think about it. Don't worry about it. It's not true, right? And if there's any truth to it, it's in Area 54 with the government and NASA, and it's so buried deep in the ground that, you know, you don't have time to sit there and worry about it and think about it, never mind accept that it's true, right? So that's how they get away with it, though, people. This is how they've been getting away with it all these years, right? They've been making us think something else when, you know, it's like rob Peter to pay Paul. You know, you don't know what the right hand is doing when the left hand is off doing something else, right? Like, go away, Mickey. Get out of here. Psst. My cat meowing at me. See, there he kind of going again with it, right? Sort of. It's just hovering in there, right? Now, yes, people lick their lips, but normally when people lick their lips, they go from, you know, from right to left, right? You know, or maybe left to right. You run your tongue along your lips. You just don't stick your tongue out. Let it sit there for a bit. And then go right back in. And sometimes on these videos, it happens so fast. Even on slow speed, people. YouTube has got it cued pretty damn good with their speed in terms of, I've caught it with Horgan, right, with his tongue so fast, even on slow speed, that you can barely see it. And I'm pretty sure I've recorded it, and you will see it, right? And how you want to interpret it, you can interpret it any way you want. You can put your head in the sand, you can put it between your legs. You can say, yeah, maybe you might have something here. You might be onto something, right? Or you'll just, I don't know, not pay attention. There, that one there is a freaky one. Hold on a minute. That one is a freaky one. That one, what am I at on that? Because that one clearly, I'm pretty sure that is the one. One of them I caught with a bubble. All right. I'm going to move it in just a little closer, although it makes me a little nervous. I'm going to bring it back just a tad. That's hard though on YouTube. Let's see. Where are we? Hold on, give me a second. Let's see if I can pick it up here. Oh, I missed it. Oh wait, maybe it's coming now. Really pay attention to his mouth. There it is. But it forms a bubble on it. And I don't think it's reflection. Hold on, I'm going to save this. Okay, I saved that. Let's just move it a bit. But before I do that, I just kind of want you to... I pointed this out the last time I did this. Here, I have to lift it up a bit. Hold on. I don't know, this might be too high. Just, okay. Again, I'm trying not to distort everything with the pixels, so I'm just pulling back a bit. I can't tell. People, I can't tell how the video is going to turn out, even if it looks okay on my computer. Right, I still see. Even if it looks okay on my computer, when I upload it, it can get worse. I don't know until I actually upload the video what I'm going to get. But I just want you to notice, I don't know if you can notice from here, but we've got a bump here, and we've got it's like a metamorphosis, right? It's just, it's like I said, it's like a form of posturing. It's like peacocks, ready to try and fluff their feathers, or, a male rooster getting ready to fight, and, he's getting all puffy and with that red gobble thing that hangs down, right? Well, this is what it reminds me of, Okay, I'm going to stop for a minute. And then what I do is I take it to paint after I saved it. Well, you know that. You've seen the pictures. I enhance it. Right. You can clearly see them. Right. But we'll just take that as, bone structure, natural bone structure. We'll just assume that's what that is. And now it's moved over to the other side, but I don't particularly want to move the camera. Okay? Not at this point because I'm recording, eh? So I'll just save this now. And then I enhance it. Right? So, I don't know. Let's see. Where am I at? And again, you know, you can only do so many frames at one time on YouTube, right? It doesn't go frame by frame, it jumps frames, which makes it harder to get everything, because YouTube has been designed to try and make it so that you don't see it. Because it's more than, it's going faster than frame by frame, trust me. Okay. There, went back in. I got it written down. I'll go back and do it again on my own after, and we'll just let this run out now. See, we got a bit of a ways to go. That's the problem. It takes a long time. So maybe what I'll do is I'll just let this run itself out for now, and come back, and if it happens again, which I'm pretty sure it does, right? You know, he was put there because he's doing hand signals to people. I'm just not recording them. That's not my focus right now. Okay, my focus is trying to understand what I'm dealing with, and how, you know, how the mouth is being used as a method of communication, and to establish. See how his lip is perking out in there? Do you see? It's like something is pushing out, right? You can see it. You can see it. It's bulging. It's bulging. I'm going to write that down. What are we at? They bulge with something underneath there. First, the lower lip starts to bulge out. Things move around in there. And then, all of a sudden, they're sticking out their tongue. It's not like they're just not licking their lips. Like I say, most people, if you lick your lips, you kind of move your tongue along your lips, right? You know, that's what people normally do. They don't just stick their tongue out. Never mind. In this situation here on this video, the tongue actually stays stagnant for quite a while, for, you know, and you have to ask yourself why. Either the individual is, you know, kind of slow, you know, maybe has Down syndrome or something like that, or is it a signal for, you know, for the video? Is it a signal for the video, right? I don't necessarily believe that there's a crowd in the background. I don't, people. The video that I just did with Horgan in the oral question period, I am almost positive that somebody edited that particular video, right, that's supposed to be in the Parliament building with the open debate. I don't understand how some of these imageries of individuals are lining up when clearly you can see it's been spliced in, right? And I copied and pasted, and I will point it out when I get to that. So, you know, so much is staged, just like with the fake pre-recorded live streams. You know, you can have any kind of background noise, clapping, singing, dancing, crying, laughing, people hollering, you know, hoo-hoo-hoo. You can have any kind of background. And just because they do a pan every now and then of people in the background supposedly listening to this, whatever it is, right, doesn't mean that it's legitimate. Especially when the reporting agency that's promoting this particular video is participating in sign language with the hands, giving off messages through hand signals. And then, of course, if you're somewhat more aware, you begin to realize that they're also using their mouths and their tongues to communicate. It's like telepathy, like a form of telepathy. It's just a different form of sign language. I don't know if it's to establish territory, to establish seniority. I don't know what it's done for. I'm not an expert on any of this. There he goes again. Do you see? Do you see? And there he did it again. He kind of just, right? He's just moving his mouth around. Do you see? He's just moving it. Not really doing anything. Just moving. He's smirking. But then you start to see his lips get thick. The lower lip starts to thicken up. Right? Every now and then. It bulges like a turkey's gobble. Right? fluffing his gobbles. I don't know. Something's not right though. That I know. I just can't quite figure it out yet. The only thing I'm thinking is the only reason they got this individual up here next to Christy Clark is because they're trying to set the stage where in 5-10 years from now, he'll end up becoming a leader to the BC Liberal Party and just carrying on with the political agenda to build in that two-tiered system where, there are the cattle and then there are the feeders, because that's basically where we're at in British Columbia, Canada, and that's my stand, people. That's my stand. That's why I'm doing this. If I didn't feel like that, feel like my family's under threat 24/7, it's just a matter of time, right? Right? We're not the criminals, but we're the ones paying for the price of the criminal activity in this province on a very, very, very large scale. And I have a right to defend my family and myself, even if my family doesn't necessarily agree with me. This is just a side hobby right now. I can only do this for so long, for, so many years, people. It's either going to come to light or it's going to fizzle out and be nothing. Right now, in my opinion, it's coming to light. Yeah. Yeah. And the more I see this with different individuals, I think of ShaMay and how they stretched out ShaMay's mouth. Literally stretched out her mouth and her tongue, people. Very nasty. I don't necessarily believe that my daughter's body is in that urn. Okay, I don't. Any more than I believe Ciera's body is in the grave. I don't. Just because of the funky shit that goes on in this province with the body snatchers, the liars and the thieves, and the large numbers of death that get played off as if it was nothing, right? The attitude is really bad when it comes to the public union sector, although they try to say they serve the public. Yeah, on a dinner plate, that spirit cooking shit. ShaMay was some sort of a ritual for some spirit cooking. Yeah, definitely. You seen the picture that's been up right? There we go again. Do you see, look, how many times? How many times do you have to do that as you're doing hand signals? Right? Don't forget, he's doing hand signals too. Okay? It's not just simply sticking out his tongue all the time. Posing for the camera. Right? It's like I say, I feel like they're prepping the future. You know, he's going to be the up-and-coming new premier of the province. Take after his mom. There he's chewing on his tongue again. He's chewing on something. See how he's starting to bulge underneath his lip? Do you see that? And now his tongue came out. Do you see that? Right? Just keep it in the family, right? Like if you're an average Joe want to run for parliament and, you know, represented as a mayor or as a local MLA or whatever it is that, you know, you think you can run for in terms of, you know, being an advocate for your community. These people that are already in there, that are pillars, like in a bar, they never move, they're always there, right? You know, they're not going to allow it to happen. No, before they allow that to happen, they'll keep it in the family. Or better yet, they'll keep it in the nest. And they'll keep it in the nest, right? Can't get government jobs that much anymore unless you know, really, 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 really know somebody. Unless, of course, you know, you're lower end chambermaid or something, and even then, they don't want the Canadian-born ones cleaning up in there because they don't want them figuring out what the hell is going on in the hospitals and stuff like that. So the majority of them that are working in our hospitals now and in our care homes are from overseas. Can't speak English, 3/4 of them. Right? Don't want to rock no boats. They don't want to be sent back to their countries. They're not going to say anything. If they're not infected themselves. Right? There's definitely something going on, people. Like, definitely. And here we go again. It's coming. Do you see how it's starting to bulge? A little bit. That was just a little bit. Yeah. Oh, God. You see, this is going to take a long time. Taking a long, long time. So I'm just going to let it run. And then after I upload it, I'm going to go through it. And I'll just clip out if I see it again. And I'm just going to add it in there, people. And then I'm going to go back, track, and I'm going to copy and paste where I think it's important. And then I'm going to put them next. Well, not next, but, you know, I'm going to run the videos back to back where you'll see John Horgan pretty much doing the same shit. You know, only he's in the House debating with the BC Liberal government back in 2015, right, as an opposition, posturing with his peacock feathers and his gobble turkey goo, right? You know, puffing up his lower lip and sticking out his tongue, and one of them went in and out real fucking fast, could barely see it, right? I'm pretty sure I caught it, but it was so fast, even on slow speed. This is what I'm trying to tell you. Oh, some animals ripping into a bag here. Hold on. Okay, so I'm just going to let this run out. Was supposed to kind of can plums today. I still have time, but it's getting a little late, right? I don't have a lot of time, right? So, you know, I just take a little break here and there. I slept the other day. I was so tired. But this is extremely important. My son said to me, "Oh, you know, Mom, I don't want you to get just, you know." Oh, what did he say? Because I watch other YouTube channels, right, that kind of go along these lines, and I told him, like, you need to watch just for general information, you know, whether you agree with everything or not. Like, you should really just kind of like watch a few videos, and you know, the person does a much better job of explaining things than me. And he's like, oh no, that doesn't exist, nothing, no, blah, 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 you know, just stay under the radar, Mom, don't stress yourself out, you know, here we go again. Yeah, it's probably gonna pop out pretty soon. Anyway, I said, look, I'm 60 years old. You know, the way the world is going right now, because he's telling me he's worried about in 20 years about even having access to water, and just with, you know, do you see his mouth? Do you see what he's doing? It's just weird. That's weird shit. Alright. Anyway, he says, you know, in 20 years, who knows what the world is going to be like, you know. Are we going to have access to water because the elites are holding it back from us? And, you know, this problem, that problem. He kind of rattled off a few problems. And I'm like, yeah, I know, Markane. I'm like so worried, right, for you and the kids. And in 20 years from now, I probably won't even be here. I'll be 80 years old. And if I am here, I'll be blind as a bat. Like, you know, I'll be just a burden at 80 years old, especially if I'm blind. And, you know, all stiff and everything, and, you know, we don't have this, and we don't have water, and just because we don't know what to expect with these individuals as they're, you know, destroying the economy, destroying millions of households, you know, destroying tens of millions, hundreds of millions of lives across the world, you know, just the whole 9 yards, as the numbers of death have increased rapidly and exponentially, right? And for what? For what, people? So they can get up here and talk a bunch of bullshit? Because that's all it is just a bunch of bullshit, right? Yeah. And I just said, no, look, I got 20 years. I got 20 years left. I'm going to live my 20 years the way I want to. Right? If this is what I want to do, because I feel it's important, and it's my contribution to society, right? You know, then so be it. That's what I'm going to do. I've already lost so much people, right, in a very short period of time. Uncle John, ShaMay, Mari injured for life, Ciera, right, Andre was injured, right, with what they did to Ciera. So, if I live 20 years and I can bring out what's in the dark into the light, then I can say I accomplished something. So no regrets, people. There we go again. It's like sign language, I'm telling you. Right? Maybe we're coming near the end now. I could see them trying to pull that stunt in 5 or 10 years from now, where he's going to be on the podium running to be elected, sticking his tongue out. And of course, all the crooks with the money will vote. Right? For him. And keep it in the family. A lot of backroom deals going on. Honestly, I'm starting to think that some of these individuals that I've been looking at lately aren't even alive anymore, people. Not in the way we think of it. No. I don't think so. There's too many oddities, and I don't know if impurity is the right word, but, you know, too many blips and blurps and burps for it to be organic in terms of the human being. I don't know if we're dealing with AI, you know, sophisticated robots. I don't know if we're dealing with something putting on the body of a dead person, like, let's just say ShaMay's body. After, you know, after it was all said and done, somebody just crawled in, took it over, and they just fine-tune it with their formaldehyde solutions or whatever fucking solutions that they have to, you know, bring the skin back to a pigmentation where, you know, you think it's normal, although when you really look at it, you know, it's kind of falling off here and drooping there, and, you know, the eye is hanging here and sticking out there, and, you know, you like looking at it and you're like, damn, there's like seriously something wrong with that individual, and it's like more than just one individual, right? And they all got the same kind of eyes that react pretty much the same, right? In terms of where the pupil is and what is the pupil. This is what my son said, just relax, Mom. Don't go get all bent out of shape. Yeah. Don't go down some garden path that drives you crazy. And I'm like, no, but I do have 20 years maybe to figure it out. And then as more and more people figure it out, as to which they already starting to figure it out, you'll be able to figure out how to fight back and protect yourself and your family. Because as it is right now, the balance of justice is not in favor of the human race. No. Because if it was, we wouldn't be in this situation with a bunch of liars and thieves controlling the masses, bankrupting millions. There we go again. Do you see? Throughout the whole thing. And then he holds it there. Like, who does that? I could see a Down syndrome child doing that. But this is not a child. This is somebody that's being, what is it? Preened? Preened? You know when you preen, right? Groom. This is someone who's being groomed to move up the ladder when Christy Clark herself is no longer useful. Right? Like, she can never become premier again. That's why she's working for the LNG line. Right? Keep it in the nest, right? Keep the money in the nest. That's why they took Uncle John. They wanted to keep the money in the nest. Only Uncle John didn't want to be anywhere near that fucking nest and couldn't wait to get the hell away from it. And if you noticed, he moved to the mainland to make that happen. And he wasn't looking to go back anytime soon other than to visit his mother on her birthday, right? And that was just out of respect to his mother, but it wasn't that he wanted to live in Victoria, that was for sure. Anyway, I think we're getting near the end here. I don't know. I don't know what this is going to look like. This is long. I'm long, 24 minutes. Oh, I could easily sit there and talk for 24 minutes, so I guess it's not that long. I just hope the pixels are good. See, this is supposed to represent the family. Right? The only thing is they don't represent the human family. I don't think so, people. I really don't think so.